Hey YouTube, there's an event on and there is a new Pokemon, or I should say 3 new Pokemon or 1 new Pokemon in 3 variations. And as you can see in the heading here, it is Tauros with 3 different sort of uh, typings, I guess. So it's the Might and Mastery Special Research. The next iteration is on, so you're going to get that next there. Uh, if you do not have a Marshadow, you will get a free one. If you do have one already, you just get candy. Marshadow doesn't really have any play outside of Master League, and Master League gets ranked 25. I think it's more kind of like a sneaky one. The Sucker Punch got buffed, has close combat for your steals, and Ice Punch for all your dragons. So again, I don't play Master League enough, so it's ranked 25. I don't know how good it is. Like it beats the Kyurems, it beats Dialga, it beats Landorus, Rhyperior. Like these are pretty meta Pokemon. But so is Yveltal, Xerneas, and Ho, and Palkia. So not quite sure how amazing it is in the Master League, but looks like it has some play. Event bonuses: 2 times XP for catching, increased chance for shiny the Shellos, I should say. But here is the first one we want to talk about: the Wild Bull Pokemon, Paldean Tauros makes its debut. So there's 3 different types: Combat, Blaze, and Aqua. And they're found in different regions. So kind of annoying for some people because they're different subtypings. They're all fighters with different subtypings, except for the combat one. It's just fighting. Same stat product, but different secondary movesets. So let's actually just go look at that right now. So as you can see here, it significantly affects the rankings, right? So an Aqua Tauros is 219, the combat is 356, and the Blaze is 524. And again, it comes down to one thing and 2 things, I guess I should say. You got one move that's the same on all of these, Trailblaze. So, I mean, they all have Double Kick, they all have Trailblaze, and then your one move set is different here. So, Aqua Jet, that nice newer buffed move, Aqua Jet on the Aqua Tauros, close combat on the combat, and then a Flame Charge Fire on the Blaze. And so, not surprising that the Water Pokemon is ranked higher, right? So, fighting water, kind of a weird type. So let's just do stat product. All 3 have the same stat product. It is 128 attack, 123 defense, 111 stamina. So not a glass cannon, not by any glass cannon by any means, because if you want to be like a glass cannon, you need like a 135, 140 attack. So 127.8 attack is not super high. Now 123, 111 is not the worst, but it's not great. And as you can see here, less bulky is one of its things. So it's kind of like stat product. It's not something that's great. So it really needs to make up for it in its moveset and typing. So the moveset, like we said, we have the Double Kick. So good energy generation at 4 energy. 3.2 damage is kind of whatever. Stab, Aqua Jet here, fantastic move, right? 2.1 damage per energy, 40 energy. And then Trailblaze to boost that attack. And unfortunately, you have to run that because your other secondary moves suck. So I think all these Pokemon, considering they're running their 1 move plus Trailblaze, Double Kick a move you really want to buff up. It's not a bad move, 3.2 damage per turn, but it's not something that you really don't want to ramp up. It's something that it's the second best move you have, right? Because then you get these very, very bad higher energy moves, not super high damage per energy moves. So I think this thing for sure, like the stat product is not great. Double Kick is an okay fast move, but not, again, 4 energy is nice, 3.2 damage is not the worst, not the best. And then just having that Trailblaze is rough. Aqua Tail is great on this Pokemon. Fighting water, what a unique typing. I guess that's what Poliwrath was too, right? So weak to Electric, Fairy, Flying, Grass, and Psychic, and then resisting Water, Steel, Rock, Ice, Fire, Dark, and Bug. So really all over the place here. 7 resistances, 5 weaknesses. If you've watched this channel for a while now, you know that I do not like that. I much prefer something like the Mud Boys. You're double weak to grass. You suck against grass, but that's your only weakness. Normal typings. You're only weak against fighting, and then you have these neutral matchups elsewhere. And if you've watched this channel in the last couple weeks, so I've called it Claydol multiple times, being like, Claydol has like 6 weaknesses and they're all main meta. And it's kind of a weird one here where it's like you have 5 weaknesses and everything seems to have Psywave now. Your fairies got buffed with Dazzling Gleam. Your electric got buffed with Thundershock the previous season, and Amol got buffed with Discharge this season. Flyers are not too bad. And then grass, you've always got to kind of watch out for. superior and jump bluff. So that's the bad part. And when you got like, yes, great. There's a lot of water, so you resist the water. There's a lot of dark hunting the ghosts, so you resist that because you're fighting. So don't get me wrong, the typings do well in the resistances, but to me, like, I don't want to be weak to 5 things. That's just my preference. You can just kind of work around it. You got a team build that way. And then that brings us to the other 2, right? So there's your Aqua. Your combat is just a fighter. So same moveset. Close combat is your other move. So it's 45 energy, so it's a little slower to get to, but 12 is not bad. But just a nuke here, right? So this one could be a little more fun. Again, I don't know when you would use Trailblaze. I think you just almost go close combat every single time, except for maybe when it's resisted and Trailblaze is neutral. But even resisted close combat will do more than Trailblaze, actually. But yeah. And then because you don't have that water typing, you only have the 3 and 3 here. Fairy, Flying, Psychic, Resisting, Rock, Dark, and Bug. And then unfortunately, Fire sucks in GBL. So your second move is a Flame Charge, which is really rough. Man, that's what Flame Charge stat is. This thing needs a buff. Fire needs a buff more. So 50 energy, 78 damage it boosts your attack, sure, but slow to get to 15s and then 12 and then 1.56. And then the fire, you pick up water weakness, you pick up ground weakness. And those are not 2 weaknesses you want to pick up in a meta that is dominated by ground and water. So unfortunately with that, fire takes the bottom. So lucky for myself in the Western Hemisphere, because we get the Aqua. And then the Eastern Hemisphere gets the fire, Eastern Hemisphere. And the other hemisphere gets combat. So I guess if you see further down, these things are in raids, right? All 3 are in raids. So I'm guessing you're going to have to remote raid in if you want one of these Pokemon from not your region. The other Pokemon are a bunch of cast forms, a bunch of Burmese, and Shellos in the 1-star raids with a few others. And then there's a timed research, a free timed research. So 10 Cub Food Candies encounter with event-themed Pokemon like Clamperl, Esper, and Morpeko. 1 additional candy for successfully catching Pokemon after completing the time research, and increased chance to receive Candy XL for successfully catching Pokemon in the thing. And then nope and nope. Okay, so the other Pokemon, so Tauros is I think the main thing we want to fight for. Cast forms. So I've used all these cast forms before. They all are kind of fun. They've all got like decent stat products, like 113, 119, 146 for almost 2000. Like that's on par with a lot of your like Quagsire, maybe even better than like Quagsire. So it's a pretty nice stat product on these things. You feel like you can really take charge moves with these. The problem with all these is your moveset. So you got like your best one here, mostly because it's water. You got like Water Gun, but it's like a lower energy and damage. And then you have like a Stab Weather Ball, which is okay at 12s, but then your best second move is a 20 turn Thunder, which is not good. And then Powder Snow, it's like, okay, you got your 10s to Weather Ball again. Kind of Powder Snow, Weather Ball is a nice combo, but it's Ice, which is kind of a bad typing. And then your next one is still like a Blizzard of the same typing. So it's all these, and then you got like Hex on Cast form, which got buffed. And so these Weather Balls come quick, but then you got like an Energy Ball, and all these are non-stab because this is a Rock move, this is a Grass move, you are normal typing, and then Fire sucks. So Cast forms are like fun. I've used them a couple times, but there's always going to be better Pokemon unless a bunch of these get, like, again, stat product alone, these things can have play. They all need better moves. Which leads us into Wormadam. Wormadam Trash really only has play in a couple limited metas, but it is very strong in limited metas. I forget which one. I think it's either one of the Bug Steel. Yeah, one of the ones that you can get in on as a Bug or Steel. It's very, very strong because you only have one weakness in Fire, right? This is the type of weakness you like, the weakness resistances that I like to see. You are double weak to one typing, Fire, and then you resist 9 things, double resisting Poison, Grass, and then single resisting Steel, Psychic, Normal, Ice, Fairy, Dragon, Bug. Love to see that. That is very, very sexy. So Confusion user, good damage, energy. Obviously, I still think Confusion actually needs a buff. Okay, let's make Hypno relevant again. But Bug Buzz is a nice move, but they had 20 turns to get to. It's slow. Everything's slow here, especially with Confusion, right? So, but Worm has play in those limited cups. And then Shellos, Gastrodon. So it's in raids. So you actually, mine is like a 10 IV because I think I probably got mine in some sort of like egg or raid when I first got this thing. So mine's a 10 and it works fine in Great League. So if you really don't have one, you can just raid it and get it and use it. It's fine. But it also has play in the Ultra League, and you need a bunch of XLs for that. So if you want to go some XL hunting here, this is not the time to do it. So, I'm sure there's going to be content creators that put these out beforehand. Here's your Beyond the Hype. With these Pokemon, I've already kind of gone over them, but Beyond the Hype, your stat product is, I think, probably your worst thing on this Pokemon. Quite honestly, it's just an ugly stat product because it doesn't fit any need. It's if you're gonna be attack heavy, be a glass cannon, have 135, 140 attack, like your Primates and your Morpekos and stuff. 128 is just kind of like the weird, like, I hit okay but not hard enough, but then you offset that with like not a good enough defense and stamina to live anything. So 1746. So your stat product is just bad to start with. So if your stat product is this bad, you need to offset it with like 2 great typings and things here. And again, second drawback, 5 weaknesses against a few of the main meta here. And then your moveset, again, I like Aqua Jet. I don't like Trailblaze on this thing. Double Kick's okay. I think you can get by with Double Kick, Aqua Jet, and if you had like a second move at like a second really nice. If this thing got like close combat here, if this thing had like Aqua Jet close combat, then I like that. I mean, you're gonna have trouble with like Azumarill and stuff, but so be it. Just cover that weakness anyways. You're a fighter, but then you have play. But for the most part, you know what? I would probably get one of each of these just in case, because I don't know. You don't know with Niantic or this game. I guess I shouldn't say Niantic for much longer, but you don't know how long they're gonna be around for or when they're gonna come back. So, if you want to raid in and get one or trade and get one, I would do that. But this is not any Pokemon that you need to build up short term. I will let you know when to build up short term. And with that said, I know this is not part of this event or anything. Has PV Poke updated this yet? Because this is a very much aside. So, yeah. So Thievul now has access to Sucker Punch and is jumped up to 69. I saw obviously other content creators jumped on this very quick. It just had Snarl with these 2 moves. Again, with Sucker Punch, you're probably not going to get to the play rough, so you're really just using it as a stab, dark, Sucker Punch, Night Slash user trying to boost. Play rough maybe for coverage, but 18 to get to is really slow for a Pokemon that, your stat products is kind of actually okay. So yeah, this thing has jumped up a bit. Again, I don't think I would probably put this anywhere near the top darks that I would use. Yeah, there's all these darks I'd want to use before I use this. But I guess it gives you another option as a dark. Yeah, so I just thought I'd mention that because I know I saw other content creators cover it. Plus, I'm sure a couple of you have asked in the comments. Anyways, so Tauros, yes, that should be your main thing that you focus on. And then if you don't have like Gastrodon yet, definitely hunt that. So that is it. Thanks for watching. We'll do, I guess, 90% Great League and maybe 1 Match League Premier if you guys send me that. It was another one of those, again, as an aside. This is the 2nd week of Great League, and this is like a one and only time Match League Premier, which is no legendaries. And then the view count for the top teams was the Great League team had the most views in the last 10 videos, and the Match League Premier had the least views in the last 10 videos. Oh man, I've been shouting how not accessible Ultra League and Master League has been, and you can just see it just based on the views alone, and it just like solidifies like what a way to kill GBL, right? Like, you kill GBL by many things, like your bugs and your stuff like that, but just the accessibility to basically have 2 out of the 3 main leagues not accessible for people. And then during those 2 leagues, when they're on Ultra League and Master League, throw on a limited cup that usually has at most 3 typings and 10 Pokemon meta. Like, it's a schedule killer. And I really wish they put more thought into like the accessibility aspect of that. But that would require some thinking around this. Anyways, that's enough ranting. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.